Hey guys, Mrs. Priestley back again. So we are back with our 1-point perspective house where we drew a house shape and connected it to a vanishing point that's on our horizon line. And we're going to go ahead and add some more details to this today. So last time we talked about how to add a door and some windows to the side of the house that's going to the vanishing point, and we copied what the sides of the house were doing. So the side of the house is vertical, the side of the windows and the door are vertical, and the top and bottom of the house are going to the vanishing point. So the top and bottom of our windows and doors are also going to the vanishing point. Now, I want to show you how to add a few more details today, and I want to talk about the side of the house that is not going to the vanishing point. So I'm going to do a window reminder first. So the way we drew our windows is we did a vertical line, connected it to the vanishing point, and then erased some extra spaces in between. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some first floor windows that are beside the door. And normally when an architect designs a house, things tend to line up fairly nicely. So I'm going to take and I'm going to line up my top floor windows with my bottom floor windows, because I'm going to be the architect that designed this house, and I'm going to decide that we are going to use the same size windows. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one over here. And I'm not going to do that middle window because, yeah, there's a door in the way. So I lined it up to the two outside windows, and I only did one side so far, and you'll see why in a minute. So then I need to decide about how big they're going to be. I probably don't want my window taller than my door. So I'm going to shrink that down a little bit so that it's a little shorter than my door. Yeah, that'll do. And then I'm going to go ahead and connect that line that's further away from the vanishing point to the vanishing point. But I'm not going to draw it all the way to the vanishing point because that's a lot of extra erasing I don't want to do. So I know I'm going to need a window on that side of the door, and I know I'm going to need a window on that side of the door. So I'm going to put those lines where I think they ought to go. And looking at that, I just don't think I'm going to like the way that window looks, because it's going to be too close to the floor if I try to make it the same size as this one. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to make that a little bit taller. And then I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to get rid of this. So trying it out and seeing if it looks right is honestly one of the better ways you can handle 1-point perspective. The reason for that is this is the way our eyes see. We see things shrinking as they're going off into the distance. And if something doesn't look quite right, chances are it's not quite right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the bottom of the windows now. So line and vanishing point. Yeah, it's still a little too big. I'm going to go a smidgen smaller, so I'm going to go up a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. I like that better. So we're going to go ahead and erase. And then we're going to draw in the other vertical line. Again, lining up with the top windows, because I don't want to have to work harder at this than I have to. And I don't want to have to make a new space for a new line when I have old lines that I can use to help me line up and not have to think about it as hard. So erase, 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 erase. So you might be noticing that there's a lot of erasing in 1-point perspective. So it really helps if you draw as light as you can. So right now we have very blank windows and we have a very blank door. That's kind of boring. So let's add a little bit more to them. You know how in Windows, a lot of the time you will have that crossbar in between. So you'll have a vertical line and a horizontal line across the window. I'm going to go ahead and do those. The vertical line's pretty easy. I'm going to find the middle of the window right about there. And then I'm going to draw a, you guessed it, vertical line. 1 and 2. I'm going to do both floors at the same time because it's kind of silly not to. Why reposition your ruler and do it again when you can just do it once? And I'm not going to draw a line in the door. That seems a little silly. And then I'm going to do one over here on the last window. 1 and 2. Now, the line across the middle, the horizontal line, is actually going to be diagonal because it's going to go to the vanishing point. So again, I'm going to find the middle of that first window I'm going to do that on the top and the bottom. I'm just going to make a little mark. I'll erase that later. And then I'm going to line up to the vanishing point. And I'm going to do all 3 windows at the same time. 1, skip, 2, skip, 3, skip. Ta-da! And then I'm going to do the bottom floor. I'm going to do window number 1. Skip over the door. Window number 2. Quick and easy. Okay, so from there, I can start adding a lot more little details to make this illusion more convincing for the 1-point perspective. So I can add things like doorknobs. You know, most houses have a doorknob. Makes sense. I can add in curtains. And a curtain over there. And maybe one going across the top. Okay. And then maybe inside of here we can see maybe a little bed or a little table. I haven't decided what it's going to be yet. I think we're going to go with a bed. Give it a nice floofy pillow. And then maybe there's a little nightstand next to it. Maybe there's a little lamp. Boop, 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 boop. So it helps to create your illusion of 3 dimensions of 3D, something that is physical, touchable, goes back into space. If your drawing encourages that. So we've now said that this is not a flat space that stops forever. This is a flat space with more space, more things happening behind it. So maybe in this room, there's a little kitty sitting in a window. Meow. My cat does that all the time. If I can catch him later, I will put him in a video, but it's nice out, so he has abandoned me and gone outside. He'll come back at some point. So maybe there's a little kitty in the window. I have a black kitty, so I'm going to make him black. There we go. Okay. Maybe down here on this first floor, we see a breakfast table. And put some legs in there. Maybe there's a chair. Maybe another chair. Okay, maybe in this one we see a TV over on the wall. And maybe we see part of a couch. Your windows are probably, if you were drawing the same size as me, pretty small. So don't try to stuff a million things inside your window. It's just not going to work very well. But parts of things, pieces of things work really well inside that window to help us see that the space goes in. You can even go further than this later and start adding some color as well. So, the next thing I want to talk about is the side of the house that is not going to the vanishing point. The rules are sort of, kind of, not really all that different. Again, you're going to be copying what the sides of the house are doing. So, just like this side, the left and right are vertical. That does not change. It's the tops and bottoms that are going to change on you. Because the top and bottom on this side of our house that we started with the original shape do not go to the vanishing point. They are just horizontal lines because this is the side that's facing you, that's not turned away from you, that's not going away and getting smaller off into space. This side, the size does not change. So on this side, what I like to do is, again, I like to use the information that I already have to help me out. And I'm going to use that to help me figure out where my top floor windows are. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to find where the top of that window is. And I'm just going to mark across the top where the top of the windows on that side of the house are. And then I'm going to come over here. And again, I'm going to use a horizontal line to mark where the bottom windows are. Or excuse me, the bottom of the top windows. And then the top of the bottom window. And then the bottom of the bottom windows. Kind of looks like reading ready to write an essay on this side of the house. So now I'm going to break it up a little bit. And I'm going to go with a slightly different style on this side. I'm going to make a longer, bigger picture window down here. So I'm going to try to keep it the same distance away from the side of the house there. It'll look a little weird if this side is much bigger than this side. So we're going to do a big window down there. And then up here, I'm going to do just 2 windows, I think, because it's a little skinnier than this side. And so I'm going to go about there and about there. And again, I'm copying the sides of the house. The sides are vertical, so the sides of my windows are going to be vertical. I always love doing it this way because it makes the side of the house kind of look like a face, and I just think that's funny. Yeah, that looks good. And then I'm going to get rid of the extra. Again, I don't like doing more than I have to with drawing lines because I don't like erasing more than I have to. It really bothers me. So I will try my best to use the information that I already have, the lines that I already have. Can I use those, that needs to be a little smaller, to help me decide where the other ones are going to be? Okay, so again, same thing I did before. If I want to put bars in the window, I'm going to make sure they're going the same direction as the sides of the house. So if I'm doing the bar across the middle this way, the top of my house is horizontal, so those lines are also going to be, you got it, horizontal. And because I don't want to work harder than I have to, I'm going to line them up with where the other one started on the other side, so that if I was an architect designing this house, I would want to make sure that all of my lines were going the same direction. We're all lined up. I wouldn't want one window higher than another because then it looks like I had no idea what I was planning. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here since my ruler is already horizontal. Like I said, I don't like working at this harder than I have to, guys. Oop, that did not work so well. I'm going to try that line again. So there we go. Boop, 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 boop. That's better. And then I will break that up into the vertical spaces. So I'm going to do the vertical line, just going to mark where the middle is. I don't know about you, but I have a really bad habit of thinking I know where the middle is and then just drawing the line without actually checking first. And then I end up having a line in a really weird spot. Okay. And then I'm going to add a couple here. So I'm going to find the middle, and then I'm going to put one more in the middle of that too. Yeah, that looks good. And again, if I change my mind, it's in pencil. I can erase it, no biggie. And if you find that you don't have a ruler, because a lot of people don't have a nice one at home, they took their nicer one to school, then just use the side of a book or a piece of cardboard or a chopstick or whatever. As long as it's flat, you're fine. Okay, so then again, I could go back in, I could draw details, I could have game rooms, I could have parties, I could turn this into a haunted house that's all broken with ghosts and lots of cool things. Last thing I want to show you, it's a little advanced, is adding stuff outside of the house. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to do kind of a patio out here. So again, it's going to be doing pretty much the same things as the side of the house. It's going to come out from the front of the house. So it's going to start with a horizontal line. And then it's going to come off the back side of the house too. So it's going to be another horizontal line. So again, we're matching what this side's doing because that's where we're coming from. And then the left side of it is already going to the vanishing point. So we're going to make the right side of it also go to the vanishing point. Boop. And then we can erase it. And then if I want to get really fancy, I could do bricks or pavers, little blocks of stone. So I'd want to come over here and mark how big I wanted those bricks to be. And for this, I actually like measuring. Otherwise, I get really annoyed when things aren't the same size. It makes me nuts. So I'm going to go little. I'm going to do 1/2 inch. Half, 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 and half. Okay. So then I'm going to connect those to the vanishing point. And again, I'm not going to go all the way to the vanishing point because that's more work than I need to do. And I'm just going to make sure I move my ruler each time. When you're doing a lot of little things right next to each other, it can be really easy to just move one side of the ruler. And for a little while, it looks great. And then you realize that this side, the side that's on your vanishing point, moved. And you didn't notice because you were going too fast. Don't go too fast. Don't rush it. Take your time. Go slowly. Use nice, light lines. Because if you do not use nice, light lines, things tend to go really funky and then you try to erase them and they're still in your paper. And it's really, 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 really annoying. one trick that I do, and this is the project that I was going to do with my third graders, is you can cut the house out and paste it onto another piece of paper. That can be a really nice way to get rid of all those extra lines that are out here if you've had a hard time drawing too light enough that you could erase. There we go. So it kind of looks like wood planks now. You can do it on the side of the house for siding. That looks really nice. Although I do tend to do fewer windows when I do that because it gets really busy really fast. Okay, so if I wanted to then break this up into even more spaces, which I totally can do, then I could go vertically so that it looked more like little bricks and blocks and pieces. I'm not going to go over that right now. That's pretty advanced. So the last thing I want to show you is a chimney. And the chimney's kind of funky. Okay, so to do a chimney, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a vertical line to decide how big, how tall, and where my chimney is going to be. And I'm going to go on this side of my roof. So if I put it on the other side of the roof, it's a little bit different. So I'm going to make my chimney about that tall. I'll shrink it if I need to. Okay. Now, this is where you have to pay attention to what your house is doing. If I tried to draw my chimney with a horizontal line going this way. See how the line on the left side on this house is horizontal? It's not going to look right because the roof of our house is not horizontal. It is diagonal. So I got to try to match that diagonal like I did with the end of the house. And that's going to help me decide how wide my chimney is going to be. Everybody with me? See me, see me, see me? Okay. And then I'm going to do another vertical line straight up for the other side of the chimney. So we're working on the left side of the chimney. I'm going to get rid of the house that's inside of our chimney. That's kind of silly. And it's going to get funky again. The top of our chimney is not going to be diagonal like the house. This time, it's actually going to be a horizontal line so that it's flat. Okay, yeah, I know it's weird, and I know it's not what the bottom of the chimney is doing, but just trust me on this one. Okay. Now, that's the left side of our chimney. We could leave it that way. That looks pretty good, but I want to go ahead and draw in the rest of the chimney. I'm going to do the right side now. So, the bottom is going to connect to the vanishing point because that's what this side of the house is doing. So I'm going to go about that wide. That looks good. And then I'm going to go to the vanishing point because that's what this side of the house is doing. We're doing the right side of the chimney. The right side of the house is going to the vanishing point. That's where it's going. And then we need another vertical line to end the chimney. Boop. And then I'm going to erase the line in the middle. That's a little wide for a chimney, but you know what? That's okay. That's why we want to leave it. And then if you have chimney smoke coming out, it could be a chilly morning, nice and wispy. And so maybe if it's cold, chilly morning, maybe we've got some dead trees back here. Well, they're not dead. We know that. Maybe they just haven't grown their leaves yet, kind of like what we've got right now. So there's a tree without leaves, so I'm going to go really spiky. And then maybe there's another one over here that's on this side of the path. But this one is going to be a lot bigger because it is closer to us. So this one will not look as small as the one that was further away. They might end up being the same size trees in reality, but because it's further away, it's going to look smaller. And because this one is closer, it's going to look larger. And when I draw a tree, I like to just kind of take a line and split it, boop, boop, and split it, and split it. You can get really crazy with this, but I tend to draw them a little faster. I like the difference between that really straight geometric line and a really organic, wiggly, moving line. It helps me separate the man-made spaces from the natural spaces. I like that. Maybe there's a little bit of dead grass hanging around here at the bottom. Okay. So have some fun with this. And again, I would love to see your house drawings when we come back. I'd love to see what you did. Go ahead and have a parent email me if you want. If you want to show me sooner, that would be totally fine. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.